Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. I think we've got an interesting subject today. I think it's also just a prelude to an even more interesting subject that I think will be in the next vlog. I'm going to keep you in suspense about that one. But this one, well, you already saw the title, but before we get to the main subject, I just want to share this one article with you. As usual, I have some short thing I want to share, and this is a little bit of common sense. I just want to, well, we don't get much common sense these days, so I want to share it with everybody. This is from Tom Cotton, Senator Tom Cotton. Here is the headline: Tom Cotton, Senate, quote, lacks constitutional authority, unquote, to proceed with impeachment after Trump leaves office, which would seem to be obvious. Some people don't seem to get it. Some lawyers don't seem to get it, but other lawyers do get it. I think Alan Dershowitz is one of them. He has already said that he would be happy to defend Trump in an impeachment, well, I mean, not an impeachment trial, a removal trial. The impeachment already happened in the House. So, just a little bit from the article. Senator Tom Cotton, Republican of Arizona, announced Wednesday after the House voted to impeach President Donald Trump that he is against moving forward with the impeachment process in the Senate because the Senate, quote, lacks the constitutional authority, unquote, to remove a former president. Quote, the Senate, under its rules and precedents, cannot start and conclude a fair trial before the president leaves office next week. Under these circumstances, the Senate lacks constitutional authority to conduct impeachment proceedings against a former president, unquote. Cotton, in his statement, emphasized his priority on, quote, fidelity to the Constitution, unquote. It would be nice if some other senators and a whole bunch of House members would have that same priority. Anyways, Cotton, in his statement, emphasizes priority on, quote, fidelity to the Constitution, unquote, explaining that, quote, the founders designed the impeachment process as a way to remove office holders from public office, not an inquest against private citizens, unquote, which is what Trump will be. Once he leaves office, he is no longer president. There is no such office under the Constitution as former president. You're either president or you're some other official, or you're what he clearly would be, a private citizen. Finishing up with Cotton, quote, the Constitution presupposes an office from which an impeached office holder can be removed, unquote. That's exactly right. That is so obvious, and I think a lot of House members, unless they're complete idiots, they know the same thing. They are just so consumed with hate for Donald Trump that they don't care, because how can you possibly have, well, what could Trump do in the next few days that he has to be prevented from doing by kicking him out of office? But also, you need a fair process. You need great amount of time, I would say at least weeks, if not months of hearings before you even vote for the impeachment, and then you have the trial. Doesn't the Trump defense team get any time to prepare a defense? No. They have to go within a couple of days to have this trial, which is not going to happen. It's going to happen after Trump leaves office, and then what's the point? As Cotton says, and a number of legal experts agree, it's unconstitutional. So if they go forward with this, what's probably going to happen is, or what may happen, is that this may go to the Supreme Court to rule on this issue. I don't know if that would come before or after a verdict. I would expect the verdict in any case to clear Donald Trump, that he would be acquitted, and he's not, well, he can't be removed from an office that he no longer holds, but it still leaves the question, unless the Supreme Court can decide on it. So what a mess. I guess that's all I can say. Now we get to today's subject, which is in the title, so you already know what I'm talking about, and that's, well, people have been focusing on accepting the results of the election, that Trump lost, and they are focusing on this. This is what I really want to talk about, focusing on this riot. That's what it was that happened in the Capitol. But I have to ask a question, because this is what is happening in the wake of Trump losing. But I want to ask, what if Trump had won? And I want to be very clear, we're in an era of censorship. So when I say Trump won, I have to use that phrase. I'm forced to use that phrase. I cannot disagree, but I can have my own thoughts, and you are free to guess what my thoughts are, but I'm going to say what would have happened if Trump had won. And if you want to know what would happen, well, as you know, behind the title of today's vlog is a photo. Here's the photo again, so we can all look at it again. Here is a photo. It's obviously a riot, and it is obviously taking place at night. Now, I'm sure we can all agree that had there been a riot on January 6th in the evening of the day that Trump spoke, we would all know about it. It would be reported everywhere. You can be sure of that. And you can also be sure, since Trump spoke during the day, this is not a photo of any kind of a riot or disturbance that happened while Trump was speaking. In fact, we could say it didn't happen on January 6th at all. So when did it happen? What is this a photo of? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. That photo, or at least one of the photos, I'm going to show you a few photos. I don't know which photo is which. One of the photos I'm going to show you was taken on January 19th, 2017. The rest were taken on January 20th, 2017. Now, what big event happened on January 20th, 2017? That's right. That was the day that Donald Trump was inaugurated as President of the United States. That riot happened, well, one of them happened the night before Trump was inaugurated. The rest of the photos are from the night of the day that he was inaugurated. Now, you look at those photos. Number one, it is obvious that that riot, those disturbances, the invasion of the Capitol, despite let's not lose track of the symbolic importance of what happened, but as far as damage, as far as destruction, as far as dollars of damage done, as far as fires set and fighting with the police, and on and on and on and on. What happened in the Capitol does not even compare, does not come close to what happened in Washington, D.C. the night before and the night that Trump was inaugurated. And you don't hear anything about that, right? You don't hear anything about that. You're hearing about it from me. That's what I do in this vlog. I try to bring things to people's attention that are not being brought to your attention by our corrupt media, or most of the media. They are just thoroughly corrupt, and it just goes down the memory hole. They just don't want you to remember these events, and they're not going to remind you. And I'll end with something even more astonishing. Don Lemon, I don't watch CNN. I don't even have a TV, as I said in the past. I think his name is Don Lemon, but some people say Don Lemon, but I don't know if they're joking. I honestly don't know how you pronounce his name. What can I say? But however you pronounce it, he was on CNN excusing the Black Lives Matter riots and the Antifa riots, but especially well, I can't say because I didn't hear the whole thing. I'm not going to say Antifa, but definitely the Black Lives Matter. He said those riots were okay because they were about a legitimate grievance. They were about racism or whatever. So those riots are okay. Your riots are okay. My riots are not okay. They're evil. And just keep in mind, I guess this will be my final thought, Trump went through a whole 4-year presidency, and it was only in this last week that we had this kind of a disturbance from any of Trump's supporters. And it was a very small number, very small percentage. There were hundreds of thousands of people there. But I would say only a couple of hundred got into the Capitol building. I could be wrong on that, but nothing close to the 100,000. But you've been seeing, or we've been seeing, these Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots and people being accosted in restaurants. We've been seeing this for months, and the Democrats have just been, and their corrupt media, have been sweeping it under the rug. And people who have been condoning these riots, excusing them, they're free. They're still tweeting away on Twitter. They're fine. They can tweet, and they can be on. They can have a website, and it can be on Amazon.com. Their Amazon, not on Amazon.com. Their web services, whatever. They're free to say whatever they want. They're free to excuse riots. Even a president who condemns the riots, anything he says is now verboten. He cannot speak anymore. But that's America today. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't America wonderful, the land of freedom? Yeah, I'm sure you all just agree with me that Biden is just the most wonderful president in the world, who fairly and squarely won the election. Just ignore all those other statistics and the testimony of all these witnesses and experts. But definitely don't ignore the opportunity to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? Comment section below the video, where you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could also subscribe to my music channel. I would love to. Well, I got it all backwards. You could subscribe to this channel, and you could subscribe to the music channel too. I love getting new subscribers wherever I can get them. But you could also visit the music channel before you subscribe to it and listen to some great music created by yours truly. And you could also just know how much I appreciate all of you being here today, spending some time with me. I would like to see all of you again, and until I do see all of you again, bye.